Gang, I guess we finally learned we're turned Ye into the president of the Hitler fan club.
I became a Nazi, yeah, bitch, I'm the Hitler.
In a shocking lawsuit announced yesterday, Ye and his wife Bianca Censori are officially alleging that his longtime dentist Thomas Connelly DDS, the guy responsible for his infamous James Bond villain grill that was medically implanted into his face, has committed medical malpractice this entire time and got Ye dangerously addicted to nitrous oxide. You know, this is honestly pretty shocking news because ever since his chief of staff leaked a text thread showing Ye casually asking his doctor for nitrous like last year, there's been many rumors stating that Ye's public antics were linked to a crippling nitrous addiction. However, now it seems like we're getting the full extent at which bro's brain was chemically fried. They're straight up alleging that his dentist was forcing Ye to pay $50K a week to get some nitrous, and he has caused Ye to have career-altering mental problems from the laughing gas, and they're trying to get his last brain cells back in blood right now as we speak. So we're gonna get into everything that's going down, you know, the whole lawsuit, all the statements from his chief of staff, and everything right now. But before we do, gang, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're finna run this video, man. Make sure you check out that merch link in the description to go cop some new fire tee. We got some new merch that just dropped, so make sure y'all tap in and hit that notification bell so whenever I post, y'all are tuned in right away, man. Because how do y'all be not subscribing, y'all be tuning in, man? So make sure y'all tap in, and we're gonna get into everything right now. Let's get into it. It's honestly crazy seeing how far this nitrous has melted Ye's brain to the extent that it has. I know several people who have been addicted to nitrous that I've met in my life before, and I've never once seen them reach the Nazi cuck gooner levels of nitrous addiction that Ye is on, man. It's like a whole new trajectory. But if you would understand exactly how this dentist was using this gas to take control of Ye and what his motives were this whole time in doing so, it's all gonna make sense. So first off, the dentist in question is named Thomas Connelly. He has an Instagram with over 300K followers and is basically showing him as an A-list dentist that does like veneers and grills and implants for celebrities. Bro has done mad other celebrity grills like Moneybagg Yo, Larry June, The Baby, Odell Beckham Jr. Why they trusted a nigga who's doing permanent grills on Moneybagg Yo to be in charge of nitrous? It's beyond me, bro. Like, who would trusted this man to have access to highly addictive dental gases? I really don't know. And apparently, the California Board of Dentistry has something to say with this. Before this incident though, he's had a pretty spotless image. Bro has a whole New York Times article literally talking about how Ye has helped him grow as a dentist. I guess he wasn't lying though. In the article, Dr. Thomas Connelly has basically stated that he's turned the cliche $1 million smile into reality. In 2021, the quote-unquote father of dentistry, as Rolling Stone named him, reconstructed Post Malone's smile with 18 porcelain veneers, 8 platinum crowns, and 2 6-carat diamonds, replacing the singer-songwriter's upper canine. And that total cost was $1.6 million. In his words, Posty needed me. He had terrible teeth, said Dr. Connelly, seated comfortably on a sofa in one of his treatment rooms in his Beverly Hills office. We've learned that since doing post mouth, added he and his staff of 3 now perform diamond dentistry almost daily, as well as fabricating prosthetics with the 6-figure titanium structure that Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, revealed to the world in his Instagram with a whole, Jaws inspired type grill that he made for him. All these are dental implant grills, so they're literally surgically put into people's mouths. His jeweler and dental lab partners, Dr. Connelly, who's also a bodybuilder with a full scalp tattoo, who's apparently a dentist. Bro don't look like no real dentist, and has both sleeves completely covered in tattoos, has reconstructed the mouths of rappers like Gunna, Lil Yachty, the professional boxer Devin Haney, baseball pitcher Marcus Stroman, Hall of Fame basketball player Shaquille O'Neal, Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., bruh. He's pretty much done everyone's mouths, no Diddy. With full diamond teeth ranging from $100,000 to $2 million, and porcelain veneers with diamond insets from $10,000 to $75,000. So yeah, yeah, just to show the scope of this, all bro was making a huge bag this whole time and essentially created the process where you can actually set actual diamonds into people's teeth the same way that jewelers set diamonds into like chains and watches. Well, bro has a squeaky clean image from the outside looking in. It seems that he's apparently had Ye addicted to the nitrous gas for years. From an interview in 2015, Ye described making the song Ultra Light Beam as him basically having a hallucination at one point off of nitrous gas, seeing an ultralight beam while at the dentist. Although he was on it apparently for the last decade, the first real hint of how bad his nitrous addiction was a random Twitter thread posted from his chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, detailing that nitrous has ruined his life. And this was way back in August of 2024. Bro basically dropped a whole 24-minute documentary detailing the actual things that Thomas Connelly did to get Ye addicted and extract millions of dollars from him in the process and get a whole crib paid for. The actual video is crazy. If you type in, you could watch it all on Twitter, but I'ma just go over the most important parts, and that's around 5 minutes in.
Affidavit pertains to actions of his, which include 1. The unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient for explicitly recreational use. 2. The physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connelly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon. 3. Charging more than $50,000 per month for this service. 4. Continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and
This is where he states that the nitrous was used to get Ye confused and vulnerable and get him to pay for more and more and more nitrous treatments and pay for a spot for him to live close by so he could keep an eye on Ye. And at the same time, it seemed like he was addicted to nitrous too. Shortly after this Twitter thread, Milo would post a group chat conversation, which was one of the most bizarre things that I've ever witnessed. Milo Yiannopoulos would post a screenshot of Thomas Connelly basically saying that he wished we could all be enjoying the loving nitrous gas and have nitrous recreationally legal. Honestly, later in the thread though, Ye would ask about when the nitrous was going to be sent to his house, and that's where Thomas Connelly was so he could finally get his fix of nitrous. You know, bro was like tweaking, bro. They would also laugh at Milo, basically talking about how nitrous pretty much destroys your spinal cord and gives you major brain problems. But they literally laughed at his concerns at the group chat. You know how you can laugh at someone in the group chat? They literally gave him a laugh. This was the first time that people had proof that Thomas Connelly was basically doing nefarious things behind everyone's back, behind the scenes. Even though Ye didn't take it seriously at the time, it seems that he is now taking it 100% serious in suing Thomas Connelly. Ye and Bianca sue father of Diamond Dentistry for life-altering harm caused by malice, misappropriation, and malpractice. Ye and his wife, Sir Beverly Hills dentist Dr. Thomas Connelly, noticed today they are suing him for medical malpractice, negligence, fraud, exploitation, abandonment, psychological and emotional trauma, reckless administration of controlled and uncontrolled substances, and malicious and deceitful behaviors. California law requires a formal notification to be served on the defendant 90 days before they can be sued for medical malpractice. A copy of this formal notice has been released to the media today. Connelly charged $50,000 a month for nitrous gas. In spring of 2024, Connelly attempted to seize control of global music and fashion brand Yeezy LLC, while its principal Ye was incapacitated off a cocktail of controlled and uncontrolled substances. Connelly is liable for improper and excessive administration of nitrous oxide, encouraging and enabling unsupervised self-administration of nitrous oxide, continuing treatment despite clear adverse neurological effects and behavioral signs, admissions of negligence, and written apologies acknowledging mistakes which had no effect on the treatment, financial exploitation of the patient through fraudulent billing and overcharging, improper provisions of controlled substances such as propofol, and professional abandonment of the patient, said the couple and Yeezy staff, resulting injuries and damages including neurological and physical injury to Ye, physical and emotional trauma, chemical dependency which requires ongoing treatment, financial harm, and economic losses, and loss of consortium. Ye's law firm Golden Law has given Dr. Connelly a process serving notice, and in the actual notice they have said this: Dr. Connelly, please be advised this firm represents Ye. formerly known as Kanye West, and his wife Bianca Censori in connection with previous injuries and damages arising from the dental treatment and related services you provided to Ye from 2024 into 2025. This letter constitutes a formal notice of intent to initiate litigation pursuant to California Procedure 364. Our clients intend to file a lawsuit against you for medical malpractice, professional negligence, and related torturous and contractual violations stemming from your treatment of Ye. As detailed below, your conduct fell egregiously below the applicable standards of care and violated both your legal duties and professional obligations, causing substantial harm to our clients. We also hereby demand preservation of all relevant evidence and outline pre-litigation demands. Ye became your patient in or around early 2024 for cosmetic dental care and other dental treatments. Over the course of your care of Ye, continuing into 2024 and early 2025, you performed various dental procedures on him, including the placement of specialized prosthodontic work, aka custom titanium crown, and other cosmetic treatments. Throughout this period, you, as a licensed medical provider, were entrusted with Ye's dental health and well-being. Evidence shows that during the time Ye was under your care, you engaged in numerous inappropriate and dangerous practices that were far outside the bounds of any legitimate medical purpose or standard of care. These actions were not isolated, but rather part of a pattern of improper conduct by you from 2024 until 2025 while Ye was your patient. Mrs. Suri, as Ye's spouse, was a witness and impacted by many of these events, which they took place at their shared residence. Allegations of improper conduct and negligence. Improper excessive administration of nitrous oxide for non-medical purposes. You repeatedly administered and supplied nitrous oxide, laughing gas, and other sedative substances to Ye in quantities and frequencies that no legitimate dental or medical justification had. You went as far to deliver large surgical nitrous oxide tanks to Ye's personal residence, including the residence he shared with Ms. Suri, effectively enabling and encouraging him to inhale nitrous oxide outside of any medical setting. By May 2024, your improper conduct was discovered and you were instructed to cease your improper care, but refused to do so. Other conduct is grossly improper and dangerous and falls outside the scope of standard dental practice. You were also permitting and encouraging unsupervised self-administration of anesthesia gas. You instructed Ye how to self-administer nitrous oxide and allowed him to do so without any medical supervision or safeguards in place. And then you continued treatment despite clear adverse neurological and behavioral signs, even after Ye began exhibiting distressing neurological symptoms and erratic behavior consistent with nitrous oxide overuse, bruh. Honestly, this is crazy. And on multiple occasions, he apparently acknowledged in writing that your treatment of Ye was improper and apologized to Ye and Ms. Sensori, but continued the treatment. And then apparently he took advantage of Ye's trust and vulnerable state to extract exorbitant payments under the guise of treatment. Specifically, you charged Ye extraordinary sums, reportedly on the order of $50,000 a month for these bills, man. It's honestly crazy, and it's basically everything that Milo Yiannopoulos in that whole documentary went through and said. And my whole thing that I have to react to about this is, bro, y'all look at this dude, man. Bro has a whole scalp tattoo, full body tattoos. He has a grill implanted in his teeth too. This is the dentist that y'all niggas are trusting, bro? Like, anyone gonna be a dentist? That dude looks more like a weed plug or a fent plug than a damn dentist, bro. Like, what the fuck is niggas? Who are the people that are in charge of this dude? Like, who are putting this out? I guess with these rappers or whatever, they want someone that's a dentist that looks more like them and is more in their type of vibe, like a cool dude. Oh, I'm a cool dentist. I'm not one of those other dentists. I'm gonna take the nitrous with you ass niggas, bruh. This is what the rappers want, until the rappers actually get one of those dentists and they turn out to be a whole James Bond villain themselves, bruh. Does this not sound like a James Bond type villain, bruh? Bruh knew how to make the James Bond grills because he was a James Bond villain himself. And he apparently was trying to take over Yeezy also while Ye was off the nitrous. Bruh apparently got moved into his crib right inside of the same building as Ye in order to try to get him even more addicted to the whole substance, man. So it's honestly a crazy situation. It would be safe to say that this dude has basically ruined Ye's career. And honestly, I feel like maybe this is Ye trying to get another way out of this situation. Like, he's trying to maybe get what remnants he has in his brain cells, try to formulate a way to actually get the public vibing with him. Because everything that went down so far with all the Nazi stuff, the cuck stuff, everything that basically gone down with Ye has pretty much lit his whole career into a giant dumpster fire. This is his last hurrah on trying to come up and not go out sad. Because right now, bruh's bad, bro. He's on live with Sneeko and like all these other niggas like Top 5 and stuff to try to find a way to try to get some clout back. And it's looking terrible. So he's throwing the last Hail Mary to sue his dentist. And if that was the reason why he's been tweeting all this Nazi stuff and basically went into a whole brain sludge, I mean, it would make sense, and maybe he could get his career back. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, though. You think he's gonna be able to get his career back, or you think this shit is completely cooked, man? But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You already know what's going on, gang. Peace.